beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of Let's Talk Sis. Like, y'all been rocking with us. Y'all been riding with us. Y'all been rolling with us because we've been trying to figure this out. Listen, as we
Yes, yeah.
good job so far. How about you, Sierra? How you feeling? What's going on?
I think we are. I think we are. A lot of props to you. You do a lot of the behind the scenes work. So shout out to you. We appreciate you. I'll be stepping in a little bit, but definitely
You about to get in the lab soon, okay?
Yeah. Soon. But yes, we're doing good.
Yeah, so listen, we want to hear from y'all. Drop in the comments, tag us on Instagram, tag us on Facebook. If y'all hear something, see something that you would think would be a good topic for us or relevant to creating space for Black women or telling Black women's stories authentically, or if you want to get a little tea, feel free to tag us and let us know what's going on because, we want to talk about it. This is Let's Talk Sis after all. So, it's opposite, right?
Yes, it's
Oh my gosh. So with that being said, we know how we kick it off here. We gotta get it off our chest, say how we feel. So are you ranting? Or are you raving?
I guess today I'm going to rave. I am going on vacation this weekend and I haven't been on vacation. I didn't take a vacation at all in 2023.
Oh wow, okay.
That's not like me. I likes to go on vacation. So I'm just excited to go. Like I just, that pre-vacation feeling. I've started my pre-vacation prep, all of the things. So yeah, I'm just excited. I'm looking forward to this weekend coming up. So work. I'm not focused on you. You ain't finna stress me out at work. I'm going on vacation this weekend.
Okay. Is this a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday vacation or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Like what's the deal?
This is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday vacation. Yes. And then I took Tuesday off to regroup. So I'll be back.
Do you know where you're going? Do we have to wait till you come back?
By the time I'm going to New Orleans. I'm gonna tell y'all only because I'm so excited. I know I've always wanted to go to New Orleans. I can't wait to hear a man call me baby.
Baby. Oh, baby.
I'll be down there just like smitten, and
that's gonna be
yeah. I'm excited to have a
amazing food. You're gonna eat so good.
That's really gumbo and beignets are on my list.
Go to Cafe Du Monde. Make sure you get you some good beignets. Oh, take cash, by the way. So y'all don't know, you never been. I just went last year. You have to have cash going there. And I swear, okay, I can't say this about these people. Allegedly, this super famous beignet spot in New Orleans. Y'all put together who you think it is. I feel like they might be running a money scheme about it there. I don't know.
I remember you telling me that.
I'm not an investigator. I don't know too much. I just know what I seen, but they only take cash. And they charge like $1.95 for coffee.
And didn't you say they don't give change?
I'm sorry, $1.93 for coffee.
And they don't give
don't give change.
I have to make sure I have $1.93 on me.
$1.93 in their pocket right now.
Literally.
Put a dollar sign in the comments. And I bet I don't see that because
what? Literally. But okay, that's good. Thank you, because I never have cash and I wouldn't have had a lick of none.
Have so I'm gonna make cash on you. Because otherwise you have to go to the ATM across the street and pay like $20 to get $20 out. So just know that.
So I'll just probably do all cash.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Well, we are hoping you have safe travels. We can't wait to hear about it. And hopefully maybe you find you a man.
Hopefully. So what are you doing? Are you gonna rant? Are you gonna rave? What you gonna do today?
I'm gonna rave because this weekend I had an amazing. We went and got massages, and when I tell you they did that big one, that day was perfect. 10 out of 10. she got in there, it was deep tissue. At first it was like, oh, 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 it hurt, but then eventually she worked it out. She did this little thing with her elbow, like right at this point in my spine. And it's like I felt everything like loosen up from there. It just felt so amazing. Like she did amazing. Left him a good tip, and I will be going back. And they have float therapy there, so like you could float in like a water tank for a period of time. I don't know if it's specifically just mental therapy or if there's some sort of physical therapy that comes with it as well, but I'm definitely gonna go back and figure it out. Okay.
As you should. That's my a massage is my love language. Like I love massages. I always say afterwards I feel like I had sex. Like it just does something for me. So
busting off a massage.
Okay, and as a celibate queen, that's as close as I'm gonna get.
Listen, it felt so good. So
good. I love that for y'all. It was couples.
Yeah, it was a couples massage. We've been trying to work out. Well, I ain't gonna even say try. We've been working out every day, pretty much. It's been here and there. We miss a day or two, but we go back and forth between doing like this 30-minute in-home workout to doing yoga. So shoulders was just, whew.
Oh yeah.
So it felt good to get out all that tension and relax for a little bit. So yeah, I'm raving and I'm on cloud 9.
Good.
Yeah. Right. So enough about me, enough about you. What's happening in these timeline streets? What's going on the timeline?
Woo. So we got us a little question, okay? Well, as I'm scrolling on all of the platforms, because now videos make their way on every platform. There is a woman who is. Well, I'll just play the clip.
I'm a mom of 7, and I'm 33.
Okay.
With being a mom of 7, do you think that a woman of multiple children is still capable of finding someone?
First, let me ask you before I make the statement. Do the kids have the same father?
Yes, they do.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, so this is hold on. We're talking about 7 children, okay? This is no offense to you because it's absolutely.
So basically, she wants to know, as a 33-year-old with 7 children, all by the same man, so she doesn't have a lot of different baby daddies, is she still capable of finding love? Dun, dun,
dun. Dun, dun, dun. What do you think?
I think, baby girl, you asking for a whole lot. It would be different. I think had you been, an elderly person, or maybe you've been, you're real old, your children are grown, and you are meeting another elderly person who has grown children, they're out the house, and then it'd be you too. But expecting a man to come into a house with you and your 7 children, and in the video, they talk about a little bit about the financial place that he would have to be in to do that, because he can't just come in and live off you. You already have 7 kids. He's gonna have to, come with something, and that's a lot of something to come with.
So I believe you never say never, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm also a realist. I think we asked realist or optimist, and I think my realism is like 51% to my 49% optimism. And so when I say that, I mean, okay, if you get real about it, like you said, who are my viable candidates, right? It have to be somebody who want a family, strongly, wholeheartedly wants a family, loves kids. Those are not 2 hard components to come by. Okay, we still in the game. Now you talk about the financial component; they have to be really financially stable. Okay, when I put together somebody who want a family, who loves kids, financially stable, and also is willing to kind of do it off the bat, baby girl, you're gonna have to go younger. First off, you're gonna have to go younger. and you have to go get you a gamer or one of them boys who be online making money somehow, like that's a little childish as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
You think she would have to go younger? I think she would have to go older.
It could go one or two ways. It could go one or two ways, but I only say younger because they're gonna be a little more gullible in the fact of like you could trick them into taking care of 7 kids because what the fuck?
Not trick them into it.
Like, it's not a joke, but like you said, that's a lot. So like you gotta have somebody like Green, like that's not like
okay.
like somebody that's like, yeah, we can do it, we can take on the world, like let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if they're a gamer, they like challenges, and you can make a lot of money doing that, like Stitch and Twitch stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they might bring in a cool meal every year, and that can take care of 7 kids.
Oh yeah.
You get online, you know, start showing us cooking for all 7 of them kids and how you got to organize and all that stuff. You can make you a cool meal. $2 million to take care of kids easy. You know what I'm saying? So is it possible? Yes. Do she have to get real about it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's possible, but I do think it's not gonna be a walk in the park. It's not gonna be, because it's like, that's just a lot. And then I don't even know if it makes it better that they all have one dad, because after 7 children, it does make it better. But it also thinks like, okay, so how long were y'all together?
So when I was kind of like doing the math, okay, she 33. That means she literally probably was having kids
at 15.
Well, I lied. We could take it back. We could take it. She could have had kids as early as 20, 25 if she was pumping them out every year. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, okay, 24, 33.
Oh, man.
She could have had them as soon as 24, right? But like, or as late as 24, but probably like as early as 12. Honestly, I mean, when did she get her period? You know?
Yeah.
So from 12 to 24, she was making babies. So I don't know. I think it is better that it's by one man for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like, so what happened there? I would want to know what happened there. And after
okay,
7,
so let's say this is not. Go ahead. Say what you was gonna say. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, after 7, y'all done been together this long and 7 kids. What y'all came? Why y'all ain't make that? Go get with that man. Go get with them babies.
Wow. Y'all better get some good therapy.
It's like after 7 children. I mean, unless it was obviously something like abuse or something like that. But it's just like, until them kids get grown, baby, you need to be daddy.
Okay, so why an older man did you think versus younger?
Because I feel like it has to be a man that does not want children of his own. Because I feel like after 7, is she going to want to pop out more kids for a young guy? That's gonna be like, well, I want at least one of my own, and she's gonna be like, oh, baby, I got 7.
I have to take care of these 7 kids. I bet you won't.
But I know that I just feel like she would have to get somebody that does not want children of their own, because I don't know anyone that's gonna come in and take care of 7 prior to
they don't want kids of their own. You think they want 7 of yours?
I'm saying they're okay with, I'm at this point of life, I'm okay with not having children biologically. Right. I'm okay with not having, my biological child. However, because you have these 7, I'm good. But if it's somebody who, like me, who genuinely desires having a child, and you already have 7, you really don't have much to offer me.
Okay, so she can either get her young.
How do you have 7 children by 33 is what I want to know.
We just did the math, Sierra.
No. Mentally, it's not, something's not adding up.
I think she started at 16.
Something's
from
not. You don't have no, you don't have, you don't,
one every year.
You don't have no 7 children by 30.
I know. I mean, I know people who get the 4 and 5, relatively quick. And
I just do it. I don't understand it. I just genuinely.
Okay, but if she was really in love with this man, also think she had to have been young. She had to have been very young and dumb, like all of us. So again, she could have got 5 and 6 before she knew it. 6 and 7 was oopsie doopsie. And
you don't have no oopsie doopsie at please.
So
you don't. You don't.
I mean,
you don't.
I wouldn't know. I ain't got no kids.
Not after no. When I tell you, it'll be what is it, Fort Knox up in here?
Not Fort Knox.
Please.
Well, anywho, she could get her a young gamer, millionaire on the come up, or
she needs an old man who has already lived his life and
scam a pimp who ready to retire.
Yeah, who has already lived his life and is not.
I say that because they got to have some money.
Yeah, they have to. Unless you're, and that's what I wanted. It's more. She got other things to be worried about.
Ain't no way I got 7 kids and you. Sorry. There's no way I would have 7 children and a man who's broke.
That's what I said. He would have to have money because there's no way I'm taking care of another child. You would have to come in taking something off my plate as a mother of 7.
That's for me.
I want to know, I want to know. I want to know her and the baby daddy's dynamic. I want to know what she does for a living to be able to afford 7 children by 33.
I'm telling you what he did. He probably played Twitch.
I want to know how she affords 7 children. I want to know.
He's an Instagrammer.
Yeah. I'm going to look into that and see.
Anywho, let's move on. So, that's an excellent segue because, like you said, how do we have 7 kids right now? All of a sudden, boom, we don't end up together. Well, there's possibly a lack of boundaries there. Okay. So, I want to talk this week, and our Let's Talk topic is going to be talking all about boundaries and boundary setting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was listening to Kiki Palmer's podcast she has, and I'm going to play this clip with her and Dr. Drew, where he's basically explaining like what boundaries actually are and how we can oftentimes misunderstand the definition of said boundaries. So, all right.
It's important. So what did? Oh my gosh! Please repeat this.
So let me break it all down. So people, when they talk, you mentioned when your intro that people talk casually about psychological terminology, and they often don't really understand what they're talking about. Boundaries is absolutely one of those categories. People think about physical boundaries. Hey, I'm not going to let him into my space, or boundaries in terms of behavior you will tolerate. I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. I will create consequences. That is the most superficial aspect of boundaries. Boundaries, what we're really talking about is boundaries around yourself internally, around your emotions. And if your emotions if you're catching other people's emotions, or your pain and anxiety is mobilized by other people's emotions, you have a boundary problem. And
with yourself and your pain body.
In yourself. I had trouble. I vividly experienced this because I was dealing with a lot of abused people, and I didn't know this. I wasn't consciously aware of it till I went to therapy for 10 years to understand how much my boundaries were porous. But when I would be around people in pain, I would have deep compassion to the point where I didn't understand that my own early injuries were being mobilized, and my reaction to it would be, I've got to make that pain stop in that person. I got to help them, make them better. When in reality, what was going on psychologically is I needed the pain to stop, so my pain stopped.
Did y'all catch all of that? That was so much. And before I get into it, what's the first thing that came to you?
When I listened to that, I guess what stood out to me is the boundaries with yourself. And I know that I guess I thought about, because I'm an empathetic person, I feel other people's emotions very easily. So I just kind of did a quick like reflection, like, do I struggle with setting boundaries with, you know, being I don't know if it's empath. I think it's what you call it, being an empath or whatever. But so it just made me think, like, it was like a self check for me. Like, do I do that?
My biggest takeaway from that was when he mentioned something around you want to create boundaries so that you don't allow other people's actions to mobilize your trauma. And that was like, you talking to me? Yeah. Me, I do that. Okay. Because, you know, a lot of times, we, me, I, she, her is focused on like, well, you made me feel like this, right? And well, I didn't like the way you said that, or when you said that, then this. And and you think it's like, okay, well, that person talks to me like that, so my boundary is I'm not going to talk to that person. Seems simple enough, right? But what happens when that person is your spouse or your mother or your boss, or you know what I'm saying, like somebody you can't not talk to, right? Or somebody, sorry guys, you can't easily just cut off. So it's like, okay, what do I have to do now then if I'm going to choose to be in a relationship with this person, your spouse, for example, or if I don't have a choice to be in relationship with this person, your sister, your mom, your brother, to not allow what they're doing, what they're saying, because I can only hope that they'll change or adjust for me. I can't make anybody do anything, right? It's always about me and my internal self-worth. What can I do so that what they're doing isn't affecting me? And that is like tough. That's hard work to do. You understand?
Yes, that is very hard to do. When it's like I said, that self check. It's harder for us to be like, it's easier for us to be like, no, they're doing this. I don't like that. I'm done. But it's like, wait, why does that affect you so much? And it's kind of a self check I do with the kids at school. You know how they do the kids, talk about each other or whatever. And I try to explain to them, like, if you know that's not you, if that's not who you are, why are you allowing this reaction? Obviously, they have to learn that. We all have to learn that. But it goes kind of hand in hand with that. Like, so whatever they're doing, if they're talking to you crazy or whatever your boundary is, it's like, well, why does this affect me so much? Like, what can I do to not let it affect me so much? Because you said it might be a person that I can't just completely cut off.
Correct. So. Right. And I think so the question is, okay, we know what, but like what's the how? Like okay, so how do I actually move through that? And for me, it's been a lot of self-work, right? Self-reflection. Okay, what is it that they're saying or doing, like you said, and why is it bothering? Okay, is it bothering me because of a past experience that I have had, or because they're truly, violating or disrespecting or whatever, me or the relationship, right? And you have to be honest with yourself and asking that question first of all, and then answering the question, because a lot of times we'll be like, nah, it's not me. It's never.
It can never be me.
I worked it out, right? Like that nigga, he don't affect me no more, or she ain't on my mind. I'm not thinking about that. But really, like, you never really healed from it. You never really dealt with it. You never confronted the issue. So it might just be you. Like, you might just be the problem. So there are, I looked online just to kind of see, like, okay, what is like the definition of boundaries, or what kind of boundaries are there? And I found this masterclass article that basically says that there are 6 different types of boundaries, and it talks about how you kind of maintain them. So the first one is the one that we're most common, most familiar with when we speak on boundaries, and that's emotional boundaries. So establishing emotional boundaries involves taking ownership of your own feeling and not being made to feel responsible for other people's feelings. So, it's not just, well, you made me feel this way, but when you're mad and you're upset or you're angry, it's not always for me to take on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Some people can struggle with that. Like I said, I am like that in a sense. I think with my profession as a social worker, it kind of is what made me want to become a social worker, but it's also kind of like I have to really create those boundaries, because it can get to the point where I am now taking all of everybody's emotions home with me. And now I'm feeling the effects of whatever they're going through. And I'm not going through that. So I need to be able to, be a listening ear, be there for that person, but not, take it on as my own. So for sure.
Yeah. So how do you do that though? How do you put that into practice?
So for me, I really had to just know that, or really put that in my mind, that I'm here to help, but this is not my problem. I cannot take this on. So what I do is I kind of like, if I have a one-on-one session with a kid or something that's really heavy, like I kind of debrief with either somebody that, like I can confidentially do that, or I do it with myself, like, okay, take deep breaths, relaxation does it for me. Like I'll color, I'll do something to just take myself out of the mindset that I'm in. And really, it really is that I had to think about it. I had to, okay, wait, I don't like this feeling. I'm feeling this because of something that was told to me earlier, or something that, and obviously, you care, but I'm like, you have to let that go. You have to, listen, be a help, and then, kind of move on. Not to say just to forget about it, but I can't have that sitting on me. And that's one reason why I stopped doing foster care. I worked as a foster care specialist, and that was one of the boundaries, which obviously you can't always leave, but I didn't find anything that worked. I was like, I am an intricate part of these children and this chaotic system, and I'm the face of it. I can't keep moving. Like I was only there for 6 months, and I moved a child 7 times. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm just like, it really has, for me, it's come with experience, and with it being my profession, I literally have to. For me, it's dang near life or death. So
yeah, and that's a great point. And I'm glad you have the resources and tools to kind of like work through that and move accordingly. And thank you for sharing that.
So what would you do? Or what do you do?
Well, with creating emotional boundaries, that's definitely something I'm still working on. But I think it is, like you're saying, taking a moment to debrief. I am extremely an emotional person. I feel everything, and I'm an empath. I feel other people's things too. And so the whole fact of how you're feeling isn't always my responsibility, or, and I think I often try to tailor what I'm saying or doing to then not upset or ruffle feathers. And then when feathers are still ruffled or upset, I feel misunderstood because maybe I didn't really even communicate what I wanted to in the beginning because I was trying to accommodate somebody else. So then there's this like whole cycle thing,
Yep.
now I'm upset, and now you don't know how to handle that. So I think for me it's having these conversations, right? It's having, at this point in my life, awareness that is something that, not that I didn't realize it was something that I have to work on, but realizing that it is something that there's more control over it than I previously may have felt. It's an emotion. I can't really control how I feel, which is true. But what I can control is my reaction, the way I communicate that, and the way that I internalize or think of other people's reactions to me. One of my favorite books, one of the only books I've really read, is dang, and it just freaking slipped my mind. The Four Agreements. And one of the agreements is to never take anything personally. And that's easier said than done in practice, but it's so valuable in that emotional boundary space because I can communicate, oh, this made me feel XYZ. You can get upset and then maybe I feel away, or I don't communicate. You just can't take things personal, and you really have to come from a place of being wholehearted and effective in communicating those emotions. So me, long answer short, just
Yeah.
being conscious and aware, having these conversations, working it out, figuring out every day, how to do that. So the next one is physical boundaries. So physical boundaries protect your personal space, determine your comfort level with physical touch, and ensure your needs for things like rest and privacy are met. So I think that last little piece, the needs for rest and privacy, is often where we overlook physical boundaries. I think it's obvious, right? You don't let anybody hit on you. You don't allow people to just physically violate you. That's
Right.
for an obvious boundary. But I think when it comes to, are you somebody who wants a hug first thing in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Do you like hugs? Period. And if you don't, that's okay. You know what I mean? And you don't have to explain yourself to people or, privacy. Like in the morning, do you need, 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes to an hour to get your mind like together where you don't talk to anybody, and have you communicated that with the people around you? And or if it's been communicated with you, ladies, are we respecting that boundary?
Right. That part.
What physical boundaries do you feel like you have besides the obvious?
So for me, I am not a hugger. I will give a hug, but I would not go out of my way to give someone a hug. So I will receive a hug, but I probably would never initiate a hug. I just am not a hugger. I do not like people touching me. Do not touch me. But it's crazy because when I'm in a relationship, physical touch is one of my love languages. So I just feel like that kind of is reserved. I've reserved that for that. So with me being celibate, your girl is deprived. but but yeah, so I am not a huge affectionate type person outside of a relationship. However, like I said, I will receive it, but I definitely need that privacy time. I'm gonna be one of those, and this is something I know I know that I'm gonna have to navigate when I do get into a relationship. I genuinely enjoy my personal time, my time. So I know that in the morning, that will probably be I'm gonna need that 45 minutes to an hour to myself to really get myself together. I do not want you to speak to me when I first wake up. Like I do that. I just know that that's gonna make me so bad, and it's gonna have to be something I work on because obviously, it might change once I'm in a relationship. But for now, I couldn't imagine somebody speaking to me within the first hour of me. Like, no. So I think those are mine. Just the hug, this touchy situation, and then just needing that privacy for sure. Yeah. For that alone time. So what about you?
Those things are very fair. Those things are very valid. And I feel like communicate early and often. With all boundaries, two major rules that's going to apply to all of these. Communicate early and often and respect your boundaries, but your partner's boundaries as well. The other person's feelings, or boundaries that they have set for themselves is not for you to determine whether they're valid or not. So for me, when it comes to physical boundaries, again, besides the obvious, I don't really have any. I'm a physical, touchy, feely type of person. Like, I will come sit on your lap. I will sit on my man's lap. My man can sit on my lap. I'll get in his skin. He can get in my skin. I'll, like, as soon as you come home. But the thing is, and anybody can tell you that I've always been like that, like, to anybody. But the thing is, and like even straight, like I'm nosy too, so it goes hand in hand. Like I'd be wanting to, like what's going on, like things, But he is not like that. So when I say we're yin and yang, it is crazy.
Oh, he's
like,
not like that.
So he is when he's in that bag. So he don't like being touched. He wear long sleeves all the time because he don't like anything touching his skin, like period, right? He is the 2-hour guy. It takes him 2 hours to get ready, period, across the board. Doesn't matter if it's morning, noon, or night. But we know that, but he gets up super early, so he could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like he does his meditation. He have his tea, like a whole routine, which works for me because I'm not a morning person, at all. Like, and I've been a lot better being with him because he is up at the butt crack of dawn. But every day faithfully. But I don't want you talking to me in the morning either. Yeah. I barely want to say good morning. Only because I'm barely awake. My mouth is dry, it stank, my breath, I got to go to the bathroom first thing, you know what I'm saying? I have one track mind just to get to that toilet. Okay.
We'll talk later.
You know what I'm saying? We'll talk when I'm done.
We'll talk later.
So thankfully he have his headphones in and doing his thing in that time anyway. So that works for us. But I will say that also runneth over into miscommunications that we may have or disagreements. So I am the one that wants to talk about it right now, which loops back to the emotional boundaries that I need to try and set of taking a pause. Whereas he has it's very good in that way of like, I can't talk about this right now, I need a minute. So we kind of, that's a little contentious a little bit, and like figuring that out, that dynamic
right now,
like what's later, like
okay, like can you give me a time?
5 minutes or
okay, like so you're just gonna go to the kitchen and come back and then we'll talk.
Need a glass of water real quick. You
take okay.
Sip. You wanna do like that?
Yeah, and then we'll talk.
Then we'll talk. So that has it works both ways. It works both ways.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So next is sexual boundaries. That includes your right to sexual consent, sexual preferences and desires, and privacy. Sexual boundaries define when, where, how, and with whom you desire sexual intimacy. So we've kind of touched on that a little bit, I guess, when we refer to you and your celibacy, if you want to expound on said boundaries. Like what that looks like when you're actually in the real world.
So my boundary
is celibate before. No, I'm just kidding.
So my boundary is that no man is allowed up into these water parks. Okay. The water park is closed. Okay, water park. So for me, it is a religious thing, but it also is a personal thing because obviously if it was I didn't wait till marriage, clearly. I'm not a virgin. I'm just abstinent. So I think for me,
first of all, why is it clearly?
Clearly what? What did I say?
You didn't wait till marriage. Why do we clearly? Don't be telling on yourself, you little.
Well, I want to make that very clear. I did not wait till.
Okay. I'm about to say what? The big of the hoe.
You see him. I just kidding. But I'm just saying because it's not my goal honestly is not to wait to marriage. So that's why I said it's a both thing. It's a, because I know that God does not want us, God wants us to wait till marriage. However, never mind. God wants us to wait till marriage. But my thing is, I want to be in love when I have the next time that I have intercourse. Because a lot of times in the past, after I would get done, I would feel the way that I would feel afterwards, like it wasn't worth it to me. It was not worth it to me. So for me, it's like, that's the boundary right there. I am not going to put myself in that position to feel like I've been taken advantage of, even though I wasn't. I've never been, sexually assaulted or anything, but I felt taken advantage of, or I felt like I was used or something, afterwards. So for me, like I said, I'm just waiting until we have established that we are already in love. So that way my water park don't change nothing. Hey.
It's gonna change something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter
But that's
what.
what I'm saying.
But
I changed prior.
On top.
Yes. So
that's totally understandable. For me, I think I maybe was celibate at a period in my life, officially for like a year or two. But I really haven't had any relations other than my current boyfriend, so I don't really.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know. But when it comes to setting sexual boundaries, though, it is so, anybody dating or in a relationship, one thing, my mom always taught me, I don't want to say it the way she said it, but basically like
I was gonna say, if she's anything like my mother, and I know she is,
you have to know how to take care of yourself first. Period, point blank, when it comes to that. Because that gives you such a Heisman, such a blocker, such a no button like ability that it's crazy, because I don't need you to get me where I need to go, because at this point I can get there probably way better than you can.
Absolutely.
And you feel empowered in that, and explore your sexuality through that. Have fun with yourself. Try different things with yourself. It sounds weird, and it might sound like what, girl? Because listen, you can get penis anywhere. Like my girl Kenya Moore said on Housewives of Atlanta, you can go to the mailbox and get dick. You want some dick? It's right there. Okay, it's not hard, but you'll feel so much more empowered when you got practice. Like y'all used to practice kissing y'all pillow, so you got to practice. That little, getting her where she needs to be, and having a little fun, and put on lingerie for yourself, and walk around your house and take pictures for yourself, and maybe you send them to a guy, but also maybe not. Like, do these things to build and exude your confidence and your level of sexuality to the point where and understand a man helps you and maybe adds to you feeling sexy, but isn't always the end all be all to having a healthy relationship with sex and sexuality, right? It's a component, it matters. A woman, if you into that kind of thing, but at the end of the day, like everything we talk about on this damn podcast, it starts with you, sis. So that's my 2 cents on that. So the next thing is intellectual boundaries. We're gonna try and go through these. Well, we only have a couple more. So intellectual boundaries. Intellectual boundaries, also known as mental boundaries, are a kind of boundary that relates to respecting thoughts, ideas, and opinions. You may not agree with the other's opinion, and they may not agree with yours, but unless it's hurtful or discriminatory, all parties have the right to share their ideas without being belittled. I think of this the most when I think of my relationship with my parents. Mom and dad the same. because, well, you know, one maybe more than the other because I'll get into it a little bit more. There's a little less of that boundary there that I've had to kind of build up over time. But I think of this the most when I think of my parents, just because there are so many ideological, mental things that we differ on, right? But at the end of the day, you still have to respect me, and I still have to respect you and where you're coming from, right? And we don't have to agree, but there has to be a mutual respect there. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's that whole agree to disagree. Have you had incidents with intellectual boundaries?
So for me, I have a hard time agreeing to disagree. I'm going to be honest. I do struggle with that. But I've noticed, I'm glad that you put that piece in there about it not being derogatory or discriminatory. Because when I first thought of it, and I'm gonna be honest, so I guess it's not that bad because it
Get a lot, girl.
Yeah, okay. It's not that bad because it is more so when it is discriminatory or derogatory. Because I went to a predominantly white high school. So when Trump came about, I started seeing some perspectives and some opinions that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we've been cool this whole time. I didn't know you thought that like that. With that him like that. Hold on. So for me, it was hard where it's like, well, you know, you can support who you want to support. I support who I want to support. We have a mutual respect. To me, it was like, if you agree with the things that he agrees with, or you are saying, you know, I don't really want to have no. Yeah, I don't really want to have no mutual nothing with you.
Sure.
But that's what I said. So I guess it's not that bad because it is discriminatory. So, but I do find myself having to like, okay, Sierra, your opinion is your opinion. Their opinion is their opinion. They do not have to agree with. Like the lady with the 7 children. I don't understand that. I just, coming back, I don't understand. I literally cannot logically wrap my mind around why someone would have 7 children before 33.
You know, and I feel like an old lady. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not even much older than you, so take it for what it is. But just keep on living, like just keep on living, because I probably. So I was I was just telling Daniel this the other day. My coworker was talking with her daughter. She's in college. Her daughter travels, I guess, to go to school, and she stays overnight wherever the campus is, and so she gets a hotel room, pays for parking. The class was canceled at 7 a.m., but she didn't receive or read the message until she had already gotten there because she was on the road by the time she got the email. She called her mom upset. I done spent my money. I done paid for parking. I done did this. She could have told me sooner. I commute. Why? She ain't tell me. I'm going to send the email because she need to know what I got going on in my world so she could do better by me, even though she found out her kid was sick this morning, right? Okay, well, how much? Can you get a refund for the room? Yes. Okay. Well, how much was the parking? $4. Okay, I said $4, right? I say, you know what? I've been her. I have been in her shoes where the whole world revolves around me. And I don't understand why you're not doing what I needed you to do at the time I needed you to do it. Because if it's not what I needed you to do, what would you be doing?
What are you doing?
I really could not. That frontal lobe wasn't there because I could not develop A and a B to get me to see, to understand why at 7 a.m. you would tell me your kid was sick and not last night before I got on the road. You know what I mean?
Right. Literally. Right.
It's just one of those things. You just got to keep on living, because at this point now I get it. People just be out here doing the best that they gosh darn can. Okay.
That's not the best that she can though.
Who, the teacher?
No, the woman with the 7 children.
Well, But you don't know that. But see,
yeah, I don't know what her financial situation.
And that may very well have been her best, and she may very well. Now I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt in that she was young and dumb and love. And when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, they got married. We married. We can have all the kids we want to.
But not financially, though.
She said she was not financially stable.
And that's why I'm like, I would want to know what kind of job does one have to have 7 children and live comfortably? And that'd be my thing. You got 7 children and they
might be a driver.
I want to know what kind of profession she has to be 33 with 7 children. Who watching the kids?
She is. They ain't got to go nowhere. Anywho, the next boundary, material boundaries. Material boundaries relate to one's possessions and finances. Every person has the right to set a boundary around sharing their finances, possessions, and information. For example, it may be illegal to withhold certain information about finances in a business arrangement or divorce. So I get that. That's kind of, how much money you make. I'm not telling you. What's your social security number, date of birth?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna give it to me or not? Can you picture your ID?
Okay, after messing with Legion.
Okay, but I'm gonna get that social security number. You know what I'm saying? If you're a real one, you got it locked in, saved on your phone.
Okay.
Okay. So the trick is, ladies, you got to get some sort of paperwork, some sort of application that they need to fill out. Then you just okay. Number 6, time boundaries. Okay, this is major. Setting boundaries around time you spend working, socializing with others, and being alone can help you prevent burnout and protect your mental health.
Absolutely.
I feel I started to fall victim to not spending enough time with myself as I maybe needed to. I'm in a relationship, I love my man, he's fine, he's cool, he's great, but at the same time, like, I need time to just like blast my music and do girl stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about like, do you want to hear this? Or not worry about, do you like this? Does this smell good? Like, I don't care.
It's my time and I want it now.
What's your experience with time boundaries?
For me, this is gonna sound so childish, but it's the first thing that comes to mind. My time boundaries, I don't like at work. When they give up, like for trainings, they do all this unnecessary icebreaker and let's do this activity. Get to the meat and the potatoes of the training and get me out of here. I don't like when people like, or even when it comes to college, I didn't like when teachers would, well, now we're going to watch this video. Now we're going to do, you're just filling time. Teach me what I need to know and I can get out of here. I do not like that time filling. Yeah. I'm not an icebreaker type person.
Yeah, I hate small talk.
No, literally, get to the point. This is what's going to be. We're going over these chapters today. Go over those chapters and get us out. We don't need a break. That grinds my gears. Let's take a 10-minute break.
No, I need a break. I ain't gonna hold you, friend.
I would rather just go straight through.
It depends. Sometimes I get it, like if I can get out early sometimes, but also, shut up. I need a break.
But that's the thing. I will tune you. Keep going. I'm gonna tune you out, baby.
That's true. Like, get it over. You ain't never lied. No, that's true. Yeah, I don't like small talk, professionally or personally. Definitely is giving waste of time. Yeah, so time is like one of those things you could just never get back. So you can forget being in a relationship with someone, or even not being in a relationship with someone, just being involved in other things and having other priorities, that you have to spend time with yourself and how we kind of talked about earlier, like getting back to like who you were as a kid, trying stuff, having a hobby, doing fun things, that just simply bring you joy and spending that kind of time, with yourself goes a long, long way. So hopefully, did you have anything else to add on that? On time boundaries? Yeah. Well, hopefully we helped y'all, figure some things out. I know for me, like I said, that emotional boundary is definitely the area in my life in which I have the most opportunity for growth. And we gonna figure it out together.
Yes, for me, I think, like I said, the intellectual one. I never even thought about that as being a boundary. So that was like, I guess I do need to work on accepting other people's opinions for we can agree to disagree. As long as it's not discriminatory.
Yes, of course, and that's big. So if y'all didn't get nothing, I'm pretty sure you weren't listening, but that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Self-check.
Yeah, sure. Do a reflection. Okay. Sierra, did you have anything? Is there anything you need to tell the people? Anything they need to know?
I'm gonna be around some fine men in New Orleans this weekend. That's all I know. I needed y'all to know that. Some fine men with some New Orleans. When I tell y'all, I always have told people I'm from New Orleans because I just love their accent. Obviously, I don't have the accent, but anytime people, literally, but I've always said that I'm from, like, New Orleans is just my dream. Obviously, it's not a dream place, but it's like, I just cannot wait to say that I've been there. I got my Lil Wayne t-shirt ready to go. I'm repping. So,
well, we're going to insert a slideshow of Sierra and her fun times right here after this episode. So stay tuned to check that out. And as always, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all for listening. And please come back and check us out next week. Like and subscribe. Share with your aunties, uncles, mothers, cousins, sisters, brothers, friends. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
I love the way you work it. I love the way you work it. Right about now. I love the way you do. All the fine ladies take the floor. I'm talking about that dump truck. Let me see that dump truck, baby. Now don't worry about it. Some dump trucks bigger than others. That ain't the size of that thing, it's how you dump it.
It's better than your friends, yeah. That's how we keep popping out that binge, yeah. Both friends, we're friends, better than your friends, yeah. SMS them, they know all my business. I don't know what I would do without all of my crew, yeah. I ain't making no room, yeah. I ain't making no new friends, I don't make no moves, yeah. Without telling my crew, yeah. That's just how we do, yeah. That's just how we do, oh. God damn it, I love my life, I love it. Stab on cuffs, no way. Party before we go inside, never let them out my sight. They're right by my side. Then my ride or dies. Then my ride or die. My friends are goals, your friends are foes. We fly, why cry, our souls exposed, yeah. We smoke, we laugh, your stress, my stress. Closer than kin, I'm blessed, you blessed.
10 toes, we was out in that road,